This segment of Delmarva Life is brought to you by Peninsula Regional Medical Center.
Remember that awkward phase in your life? You know what I'm talking about, the period of time when you went from being a child to an adolescent, puberty.
For many of us, it happened around, 12, 13, maybe even 14 years of age, but not for kids today, especially girls. In fact, it's hitting girls a year sooner than it did 10 years ago. So the question is, why are girls growing up so fast?
I'm too sexy for my shirt.
Does it seem like sexy is getting younger, younger, and younger?
I see girls out now and I'm like, they must be 18, and it turns out they're in like 9th or 10th grade.
You can see the innocence in the face underneath all the makeup.
But it may be more than just how they look. New research shows girls are hitting puberty younger than ever before.
The bulk of evidence shows that, at least in part, it is due to girls gaining weight earlier.
The study found African American girls started developing breasts before age 9. For Hispanic girls, it was 9 years and 4 months. For white and Asian girls, 9 years, 8 months. And the heavier girls started developing at younger ages.
Due to a lot of intake of poorly nutritious, high-calorie foods, fast foods, reduced activities.
Other research has shown substances in the environment may be contributing to early puberty. Chemicals such as phthalates and BPA, which are found in some plastics, are known to be endocrine disruptors. Also, lavender and tea tree oils may act as hormones.
We see young babies that are 1 and 2 years old that have been using the lavender bath soap and have developed breast tissue as a result of that.
Early puberty has been linked to psychosocial problems, risky behaviors, and depression. Girls who start their periods earlier are at a higher risk for developing breast cancer, and because puberty causes the body to make estrogen earlier, growth may be affected.
Does this mean that they're going to stop their growth at an early age and not really get to be as tall as they had a genetic potential to be?
It's a phenomenon that researchers hope to learn more about so our girls can focus on being girls longer.
And it's not just girls. Boys are hitting puberty earlier too. A recent study suggests up to 2 years earlier.
On average, African American boys hit puberty at the age of 9. For whites and Hispanics, it's the age of 10. So we just heard, the chemical known as BPA may be contributing to early puberty. BPA stands for bisphenol A, and it's used to make plastic products.
Measurable levels of BPA are found in water bottles, some baby bottles, and the lining of some food cans.
Now, BPA has also been found on thermal paper, receipts like the ones you get at a store or from credit card and debit machines. Pizza might be yummy, but the boxes that it comes packaged in can contain BPA. Turns out the boxes are often made from recycled paper, which can include, you guessed it, thermal receipts and other papers that contain BPA. And according to scientists at Mount Sinai School of Medicine, the sealants that dentists use on kids to protect teeth from cavities break down into BPA when in contact with saliva. Fortunately, the exposure disappears after just a few hours after the sealants are applied.
And it's not just early puberty. BPA has been linked to a variety of health problems, including heart disease, reproductive disorders, and asthma, just to name a few.
So joining us this afternoon with more on this chemical and its connection to those health problems is Dr. Chris Snyder, who's the Chief Medical Informatic Officer and Hospitalist at Peninsula Regional Medical Center. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. So I'm going to cut to the chase. What is BPA?
So polycarbonates are things that, as you guys described, in cans and plastic products have been around since the 60s. So, and it sort of protects you from the metal in the can, I guess, but there's really some concern about the levels that are being measured in patients with the problems you guys have described.
Yeah, and these are, plastic is in everything, right?
Yeah, and you know, the interesting, as I was reading about this product, you know, the heating of this product is one of the challenging things, because the age of microwavable foods is obviously here and has been for probably 2 or 3 decades now. So that's an everyday commodity in somebody's home. So heating that product, I think it's probably where a lot of this research is going, and looking at whether we should be heating these products or not, because of the levels found in the food and also in the blood of the patients that are being researched.
And not just in food, plastics, but also in the receipts as well.
Absolutely, yeah. Had no idea about that actually. So it was really interesting learning about that, because I really think that that's, you know, again, hand hygiene I've spoken about in the past with you guys. I mean, it's another great reason just to get the soap and water on your hands and get that stuff off. But the printing products, I guess, have BPA in it also, which was really very interesting.
And that's how it gets into the body. It's hand to mouth?
Yeah, so the food you ingest, or obviously if you touch food and then ingest it, it would have the same effect.
So really, do you think it'd be causing early puberty in girls?
Yeah, and the studies are showing it's a synthetic type estrogen, so it actually simulates estrogen, which would you know, precipitate precocious puberty or early puberty. Estrogen also affects males. A lot of people don't understand that, but testosterone is a kind of a product of estrogen. So it is one of those elements that you really have to concern about. So I could see where this absolutely could impact maybe a possibility of early puberty in both boys and girls.
What about adults? I mean, it can affect us as adults, right?
Yeah, the timeline, if you think about it, if you're going into puberty earlier, then you would be seeing that element move closer. So folks who are getting diabetes and things related to obesity, which is cardiovascular disease, and then obviously asthma and other precipitating factors from obesity, all those things would start sooner, because obviously you're going into puberty, you're becoming an adult much sooner. So I think that's kind of intuitive if you look forward.
So it sounds like it's everywhere. How do we avoid BPA?
I guess natural diets would probably be the best way, avoiding canned products. You know, if you're going to heat products, use BPA-free products. And again, avoiding those bottle feds. Now, unfortunately, baby bottles are one of those areas, and I think there's a BPA-free baby bottles, and those should be labeled. And then obviously washing your hands is one of the key elements. So if you've handled receipts or pizza boxes, that's kind of scary. You know, wash your hands. We should all wash our hands before we ingest anything anyways. It's good practice. So whether you're doing it from a perspective of BPA or not, infection control is also a big deal with that.
Get more soap. Dr. Snyder, thank you.
Thank you
so much for your time this afternoon.
And if you missed any of the information we discussed or would like to read more about Peninsula Regional Medical Center, go to our website, delmarvalife.com, and click on the show tab. We really do need to be careful when it comes to what we expose our children to in an effort just to keep them healthy.
Keep them healthy. And that goes for the hearing as well. Still ahead on Delmarva Life, something that you may use to help baby sleep soundly could be hurting their ability to hear whole sounds. We're going to explain.
Plus, another form of technology allows a toddler to hear her parents' words for the very first time. We have that heart-touching moment next. Delmarva Life will be right back.